Our lives are shaped by the things we do consistently, not by what we do occasionally. Anthony Robbins. Occasionally, we awaken with a blazing surge of vitality, yearning to devour countless books, plunging into relentless physical training, and hastily believing that one singular, extraordinary day holds the power to alter our destiny. Yet, the human psyche is not driven by fleeting outbursts of passion. It resembles a hidden trail deep within the primordial forest. A single footstep leaves but a faint trace. But should we persistently tread that exact path day after day, those footprints will forge a profound, enduring trail etched into the earth. Habits share this very same intrinsic nature. That which we echo endlessly transforms into second nature, and whatever we bind ourselves to long enough will eventually crystallize into the very essence of our identity. A single turn of a page cannot metamorphose you into a sage. One grueling day at the gymnasium cannot sculpt a resilient physique. A solitary moment of valor cannot permanently crown you as invincible. But should you tenaciously read a few pages each day, move rhythmically without pause, and ceaselessly summon the courage to confront your fears, those micro shifts will silently, powerfully accumulate. They are akin to patient droplets of water falling upon an ancient monolith. A solitary drop seems utterly futile, yet a million drops, as united, possess the might to pierce solid stone. True supremacy has never resided in fleeting, meteoric intensity, but reigns sovereign within the capacity for unwavering endurance through the passage of time. More profoundly, this universal law applies with absolute precision to our darker tendencies. You do not forfeit your true self after a mere moment of idle surrender. But if every single day you conjure an excuse to retreat, procrastination will mutate into a primal instinct, steeped deep within your subconscious. Your faith does not crumble from a solitary stumble. But if every defeat summons a chorus of self-condemnation, labeling you as worthless, that toxic frequency will gradually become the dominant voice orchestrating your mind. Tread carefully with what you choose to nurture each day, for within every pulsating moment of the present, you are not merely existing, but silently laying the very bricks that construct your future self. A solitary brick fashions no silhouette, yet tens of thousands, laid with rhythmic devotion, will resurrect an impregnable fortress. You need not architect a total reconstruction of your life overnight. Commence with the most infinitesimal movements, so long as they can be sustained, completely absorbing a single page, venturing 1 mile further, conquering one minor task, honoring one sacred vow to yourself. When these microscopic acts are echoed long enough, they forge a seismic momentum far transcending any spontaneous burst of effort. The grand symphony of life is not orchestrated through fleeting moments of caprice, but written in the ink of unwavering choices. Even when the stage lights have dimmed and the embers of inspiration have turned to ash, select carefully those endeavors worthy of repetition, for it is the silent, daily rhythm that shall decree who you become in the morrow. If you're bored with life, if you don't get up every morning with a burning desire to do things, you don't have enough goals. Holtz. There are dawns when we awake, lying motionless, staring at the ceiling with a hollow inquiry. For what purpose do I rise today? Stripped of any eager anticipation, devoid of a warm spark to kindle the soul, lacking even a single fierce rationale to compel us from our slumber. Day cascades into day. The relentless wheel of life grinds on, yet deep within, lies an asphyxiating vacuum. We easily mistake this for sheer exhaustion from our labors, or believe this world has grown exceedingly mundane. Yet, the root rarely sprouts from the dullness of the external world, but from a soul bereft of a lighthouse, bright enough to provoke our absolute devotion. Humanity was not birthed merely to satiate rudimentary survival instincts. We demand a true north to anchor us, a soaring ideal to strive toward, a vision of tomorrow so luminous it sets ablaze every step we take today. Purpose is that towering lighthouse amidst a tempestuous night. In its absence, the vessel of life, though its sails be hoisted, merely drifts aimlessly across an abyssal ocean. Conversely, when the destination reveals itself, even the most treacherous paths are cloaked in sanctity, for we know that every arduous stride today obliterates the distance between us and our deepest dreams. The most terrifying state is not confronting adversity, but wandering blind to one's own trajectory without purpose. The most mundane of daily duties morph into colossal burdens. We labor in reluctance. We awaken as a mindless reflex, chasing currency solely to sustain a pulse, only to lose ourselves in the labyrinth of our own meaning. A genuine pursuit need not be heralded as a monumental triumph through the lens of another. It could be the architecting of a legacy that swells your chest with pride, refining your essence day by day, offering an unbreakable aegis for those you cherish, conquering uncharted territories of knowledge, or rekindling the embers of a childhood dream long forsaken. The magnitude of a goal is never measured by its scale, but by the gravitational weight of its significance upon your own heart. Still your mind and inquire within. If you were to awaken tomorrow and every barrier had dissolved into mist, what magnificent shape would you mold your life into? What profound truths do you thirst to learn? What monumental value do you seek to forge? Who do you wish to become? And where do you stand amidst this world in the years to come? Such inquiries wield a seismic power, potent enough to awaken the radiant, slumbering titan housed within your core. What we truly crave is often not an alternate destiny, but a newfound reason to experience this very life with an unyielding fervor. When the lighthouse of purpose finally blazes to life, the dawn is no longer an hour you must rise for, but a divine moment. You are granted to continue your own epic odyssey. Should the inferno within seem to be dwindling into embers, do not succumb to despair. It is merely waiting for a purpose grand enough to ignite it into a roaring blaze. Seek the imperative that commands you to march forward, for once the compass aligns, even the most rugged terrain overflows with sacred significance. Don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive, and go do it, because what the world needs is people who have come alive. Howard Thurman. It could be the ecstasy found in creation, the pure bliss of sharing, an intoxicating captivation with unmapped horizons of knowledge, or simply the audacity to stride down a path of passion, postponed countless times before. When you brush against that which makes your heart tremble, the sensation of withering away day by day will utterly vanish. Deep within your abyss, a subterranean current of unadulterated energy will erupt, akin to a warm, fierce ember bursting forth after an eternity buried beneath the ash. We frequently harbor the illusion that the meaning of life is some distant phantom, an abstract enigma that demands a relentless crusade to the very edges of the earth. Yet, in truth, it flickers within the very things that make your soul resonate most naturally. That which urges you to to pour yourself out, absent of any external command, that which hardens your resolve to brave tribulations without a whisper of complaint. Passion does not scatter rose petals along your chosen path, but it bequeaths you the wings and the fortitude to conquer every thorn, ensuring not a single breath of your mortal existence feels wasted. And here lies the exquisite paradox of creation. When the mind remains ensnared by the question, "What shall I receive?" the universe abruptly shrinks into the suffocating confines of the ego. But when you unearth what truly quickens your pulse and surrender your heart to it, the value you forge will organically transcend the boundaries of the self. A healer, consumed by their calling, will balm the wounds of their fellow kindred. A spirit enamored with creation will unleash an infinite cascade of inspiration. A heart agonizing over enlightenment will ignite the future for generations yet unborn. When a mortal lives entirely aligned with their intrinsic conviction, that radiant life force will naturally permeate, showering vitality upon all existence that surrounds them. The odyssey to discover life's meaning need not commence with colossal interrogations. What can I do for humanity? Occasionally, it originates from a primal resonance. What truly awakens my soul? Summon the courage to heed that answer and plunge forward. For this world is not desperate for mere machines fulfilling their quotas. The world aches for souls living with profound depth, brimming with unwavering conviction, ready to consecrate their most vital, pulsating energy to the theater of life. When you unearth what makes you truly alive and transmute it into a vessel of service to others, you are no longer merely executing a task or chasing an ambition. You are grazing the very fabric of your existential purpose. And that is the incalculable gift the cosmos has been waiting for you to bestow. Time is free, but it's priceless. You can't own it, but you can use it. Once you've lost it, you can never get it back. Harvey MacKay. There are losses in this mortal coil. We are still granted the grace to recover. Squandered fortunes can be amassed anew. Slipping opportunities can resurface in another guise, and even the most jagged fractures in love can sometimes be mended by the balm of time. Yet, there exists one entity that, once it slips through our grasp, no authority or wealth in this world can ever drag backward, and that is time. Time bears no price tag, demands no tariff to be held, yet it reigns as the supreme, most opulent treasure the Creator magnanimously bestows upon every human fleeting life. With every breaking dawn, we are all graced with an identical, egalitarian blessing, 24 pristine hours, whether crowned in sovereignty or cloaked in rags, whether standing upon the zenith of glory or drowning in the abyss of defeat, all are bound to an identical current of time, silently carving through our existence. No man can hoard it within a vault to be spent on a later date, nor can anyone decline it, pleading, "I have no need of it today. Hold it for tomorrow." Time is the eternal river, relentlessly churning forward, profoundly indifferent to whether we sprint wildly in its wake, stand frozen in despair, or turn our backs in apathetic silence. We might agonizingly weigh every trivial penny, yet lavishly squander countless hours on absolute nothingness. We effortlessly whisper, "Just 5 more minutes," only for those 5 minutes to devour an entire afternoon. We defer our monumental visions, soothing our conscience with the lie that tomorrow will suffice. Yet that chain of tomorrows stretches into a boundless eternity until one day we awaken in staggering horror to the realization what we have forfeited is not merely a handful of frivolous moments, but a vital fragment of our lifeblood that shall never see resurrection. Time does not demand that you exist every ticking second, steeped in extraordinary grandeur. It merely softly whispers that every passing moment is unrepeatable and irrevocably gone. You are entirely within your right to choose rest, to untether your soul, to gather loved ones near, or to sit in silent reverence before a tranquil sunset. This is no squander. If it breathes serenity into your spirit and nourishes your soul. True devastation of time only commences when you abandon your sacred hours to barren trivialities, acts that, deep within the marrow of your bones, you know are utterly unworthy. Command yourself to halt and gaze upon a single day of your making. What are you bartering your time for? Are your deeds today paving the path toward the majestic manifestation you so deeply crave? Or are you permitting invisible fragments of insignificance to stealthily plunder the precious hours meant for your dreams? Time is not merely a commodity in our possession. Time is the very silk that weaves the tapestry of existence. Every passing tick is not merely a dancing digit upon a clock face, but a fleeting sliver of youth, a fragment of vitality, a closing window of destiny, forever sealing shut. Do not wait until your hourglass bleeds dry to grasp the exquisite value of a single breath. Treasure it as a warrior who grasps they have but one solitary voyage in this realm. Execute what is unequivocally vital. Shower your love upon those worthy. Harvest the wisdom you require, and boldly hunt down that which sets your soul aflame. Though today may not boast sheer perfection, mold it into a day of profound wholeness and significance. You cannot imprison time, but you possess absolute dominion over how you merge into its relentless current, and the reverence you show every minute today becomes the master stroke that paints the portrait of your destiny tomorrow. There is one grand lie, that we are limited. The only limits we have are the limits we believe. Wayne Dyer, we frequently stand before a towering wall and frantically decree it to be the dead end of our journey, when the true obstacle shackling our stride is not that imposing block of concrete, but the barren, desolate belief that we are powerless to conquer it. When you relentlessly indoctrinate yourself with the notion of your own frailty, every microscopic failure instantly transforms into ironclad evidence, fortifying that very insecurity. When you convince yourself of your inadequacy, you cower before every golden opportunity, trembling under the piercing gaze of judgment and hastily surrendering at the very first crash of a storm. And so, this venomous self-doubt orchestrates timid actions, yielding a harvest so barren, it only returns to feed the original toxic dogma, spiraling into an invisible vortex that incarcerates human potential. No deity or entity ever erected a signpost declaring, "Behold, the absolute zenith of your limitations." That frontier is, in large part, fiercely etched by your own mind's design. You whisper to yourself that it is far too late to begin. You scoff at your own intellect. You cast blame upon your circumstances, and then you gaze upwards at the triumphs of others, finalizing the decree that they were bestowed divine graces you could never, ever touch. Every soft, yielding thought, accumulating through the passage of seasons, weaves a psychological cage that imprisons you, even though the door to that very cage has never, not even for a fleeting second, been locked. This does not suggest that all colossal barriers will evaporate through a few whimsical, optimistic fantasies. Life is relentlessly armored with tangible hurdles, biological parameters, and brutal crucibles that cannot be denied. But between I cannot yet and I never will lies an entire vast ocean of difference. A mind liberated by expansive thinking perpetually perceives a realm for evolution. They do not deny the grueling reality of their present struggle, but they fiercely refuse to sentence a temporary hardship into a life term for their future. One steeped in ignorance possesses the absolute power to learn. One lacking mastery possesses the unyielding power to forge their craft. One utterly shattered in defeat possesses the magnificent power to rise and be reborn. That which eludes your grasp today does not decree. It shall remain eternally exiled from your capabilities tomorrow. Before you surrender to the cowardly echo of I cannot, quiet your spirit and interrogate your soul. Am I truly powerless? Or am I merely starved of the valor required to believe in my own boundless potential? That very inquiry acts as the master key, unlocking the colossal gates you have hesitated before for far too long without ever daring to grant them a gentle push. For the primal element that demands liberation is not your external circumstance, but the narrative you are perpetually preaching to yourself within the depths of your consciousness. When your core conviction metamorphoses, your vision of the universe will undergo a radical, utter transformation. And only when you possess the audacity to obliterate the phantom boundaries of your own mind will you truly graze the infinite frontier of human capability.